All right, food. I know food is such a big topic, and sometimes we scratch our head and be like, well, what is healthy food? Do I have to eat organic? Do I have to climb to the Swiss Alps and find the lonely goat and get milk from it? Like, we get into these crazy, like, you have to drink, apple cider vinegar at 5 a.m. in 1.5 ounces. And it's like, really? What? Do we have to do these things? So today I just want to break down eating simply for you and give you some really good ideas on what to eat, how to snack. So I think it's going to be really good. Strap in, get ready for episode 212. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody. I will be your host today. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. So glad to have you here. For my return listeners, thank you for coming back. It means the world to me. And if you have not signed up for my text community, I truly don't know what you're waiting for. It's absolutely free. Just text the word podcast to 706-222-7551. You will get a couple automated messages. One will be like confirming that you're opting into this, and one is an automated welcome message from me. And then after that, everything you receive does come directly from me. It's not a bot. I don't automate crap. Like, if you text me at this number, I will respond to you. It is a second number. It's not my primary number. I set it up just so that I could communicate with y'all. So I check it a couple times a week. So if you send me a message, give me a couple days to get back to you. Please be patient, but I promise I will respond. And I just send out a couple texts a week, some kick in the butt motivation, some tips. So definitely worth your time. And it's just a great way for me to stay connected to you. So again, text the word podcast to 706-222-7551. All right. Let's jump in. We complicate food so much, and I used to do the same thing. I'm guilty of it. It's not like I'm immune from the common problems in fitness. I've learned the hard way on just about everything. And when it comes to our food, when it comes to our nutrition, we think we've got to eat organic, or we've got to eat this strict diet, we've got to eat chicken and broccoli and brown rice 3 times a day, right? No. And I used to think this stuff. And so you're not alone if you're in the same boat. But I want to lay out some very just simple ways to eat healthy, some simple snack ideas, some simple meal ideas to where it doesn't complicate and confuse you. So first off, what is healthy eating? Well, that's going to look a little bit different depending on the person. You can be healthy as a vegetarian. You can be healthy as a vegan. You can be healthy as a paleo person. Like, there's no one-size-fits-all diet plan. And just as that's true, you can also be unhealthy on all those diets. So, it's not a matter of a diet being your savior. And I think we have to get out of that mentality because it's so consuming in the fitness realm, right? It's diet, diet, diet. And don't get me wrong, your nutrition is everything, but a diet is not necessarily the answer. So when it comes to our nutrition, you want to be focusing on whole, nutritious foods. So what does that mean? What is whole foods? Well, that's basically something that's kind of cooked from scratch. So you're preparing everything, whether it's, let's say a chicken stir fry. You buy the chicken, you cook the rice, you cook the vegetables. You're making the sauce that you pour over it. So it's all from a natural state. You're not buying a prepackaged product and heating it up and eating it that has a ton of ingredients in it that you can't even pronounce. Prepackaged foods, I'm not going to say they're all bad because I definitely use some, but you just need to be mindful that prepackaged foods are not always what they seem. You've got to get in the habit of reading ingredient labels, of looking at macros, how much sugar is in this, how much fat is in this, why is it that much sugar, why is it that much fat? Look at the ingredient list, what is in it that is causing the sugar and the fat content to be that high. Start just learning about your food. And this doesn't have to be an overnight process, and nor is it going to be. It's not like just all of a sudden you're going to snap your fingers and eat perfect. This is a learning journey. So give yourself grace, give yourself time, and just start off slow. The next thing is eating out. And I don't care whether you're eating fast food, whether you're eating at a sit-down restaurant like Chili's, or whether you're going to a super nice restaurant. Like, restaurant food is pretty terrible for you. Now, with that being said, there are some good options out there at most places that you can find, but I would not make it a habit to eat out. as a rare treat? Sure. Do I eat out? Absolutely. Do I make smart decisions? Yes. The thing is, it's again, learning what's in your food. Pretty much every restaurant now has calorie counts, has macros on their food. So it's pretty dang easy to kind of look at what you're eating. But to give you an example, I did this a while back, but a piece of corn on the cob, baked potato, and chicken at Chili's compared to eating at home, there's about 800 calories difference. It's roughly 550 if you make it at home. And this is without like condiments added. It's roughly about 550 at home, and it's about 12 to 1300 at the restaurant. And you're like, what the crap? Like, why? Because they add so much stuff to the food. Most meat at restaurants is injected with sugar, with different solutions before it ever gets to the restaurant. Why? To make it taste better, to keep you coming back to the restaurant. There's a lot of things at play here. So, limit your eating out. First off, limit your packaged food. So, okay, you're telling me what not to do. What can I do? Well, you also don't have to overcomplicate what you eat at home. You can do a lot of creative meals. You don't have to just do a chicken breast and a veggie and a complex carb, which, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. I love a couple red potatoes, which are not a complex carb, but is still a really good carb for you. I love doing a chicken breast, red potato, and then some broccoli. Like, that is a great meal to me. Get a little low-calorie buffalo sauce to dip my chicken in, and I'm set. You can get creative, though. You can make soups. Just cut up some chicken, add some vegetables, get creative with the broth. Maybe you like creamy. Okay, use some non-fat milk and some cottage cheese and blend it together and pour it in there and some seasonings. You can do I do this Mexican tortilla soup, and it's like cut up chicken and a can of crushed tomatoes and lots of veggies, and then seasonings like taco seasonings and different things. Get creative with your food. Stir fries are a great thing you can do. Cut up chicken and a variety of vegetables served over either rice or served over noodles. So don't get stuck in this box of I've got to eat just plain chicken, quinoa, and a vegetable. Again, there's nothing wrong with those things, but get outside the box. And then with snacks, there's so many different healthy snacks. You can do things like beef jerky. You can do Greek yogurt cups. You can do some healthy protein bars. Do be cautious of some protein bars because there are some really bad ones out there that aren't much better than candy bars, but there are a lot of good ones as well. You can do things like almonds and cashews and walnuts and tree nuts. Be cautious of the amount of calories. They're great if you're trying to gain mass because they're packed so much with calories. You do things like sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. You can do snacks like cottage cheese, non-fat cheese sticks. These are all really great things. Fruit is always a good choice. Any kind of fruit. Grab a fruit. It's easy to grab that and go. You can do a piece of whole wheat toast with some PB powder on top. We limit ourselves so much with the healthy food we eat, and I don't understand why we do that. You can make the same meals healthy as you would eat them unhealthy. And I'll give you for an example. We do Taco Tuesday every week. And you might think, well, tacos, that's not healthy. But I do ground turkey, and I add a can of black beans, and I add a can of corn, and I cook it up with some taco seasoning. And then I serve it over a bed of lettuce with some tomatoes and a little bit of sour cream and a little bit of low-fat cheese on top and some salsa. And it's amazing, and it's not bad for you. So my point is, you can make most quote-unquote unhealthy meals. You can make them in a healthier version. Sure, it may look a little bit different, but it's still going to be freaking amazing. It truly is. Another recent recipe I've been doing that I just love, it's different, is I take an entire container of cottage cheese, blend it in the blender with about 1 cup of low-fat milk, and it makes this really thick, creamy sauce. I add some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, maybe a little bit of oregano, and I've got a creamy sauce. Then I can cook some chicken. I can cook some whole wheat noodles or if you're looking for extra protein, you could do protein noodles or just regular noodles even. And then some broccoli or other fresh veggies, some bell pepper, and you've got an amazing Alfredo casserole that's pretty dang healthy. So again, eating healthy doesn't have to be bland. If you've been told that, well, you got to eat a sweet potato and a piece of chicken and broccoli all the time, then you've been told wrong. I'm not a fan of sweet potatoes. I can't stand sweet potatoes. I don't know why. I'm just not a fan. And so I never eat sweet potatoes. I eat red potatoes. I eat baked potatoes. Red potatoes are by far my favorite. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. So I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some creative ideas of how to just look at your food differently, how to do some creative things, and maybe get out of a rut of feeling like you have to eat a certain way all the time. All right, with that being said, if you're on any social media platform, please hit me up. I would love to connect with you. I am at Bones to Bulk everywhere. Instagram, we have a great group on Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, you name it. YouTube.com/Bones to Bulk is my YouTube channel. I have a ton of great videos on there. And just remember, no matter what walls you're facing, what things you feel like you're just in a rut with or that you can't overcome, I promise you, you can get over anything. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to. You've got this.